what is the perfect age for a man or a woman to get married or to be in a date or to be dating? I think that was what I had. Or is this a different one?
That's a different one.
Okay, but the questions is even ask the same answer. Please listen. Marriage is the first institution ever, and virtually all institutions follow the same principle of assimilation. Let me explain. For example, for you to be admitted into the academic institution in Nigeria today, you have to be 17 years and above, a minimum of 17 years, even globally.
Yes.
Now, that is the first requirement you should have. Then the next one is there are some certain subjects you must have written exams on and you pass them with a minimum pass or in credit passes in English, mathematics, and some other 3 core relevant subjects, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, if you have this qualification, there's no institution that will reject you and say because you are 17 years, go and wait till you have beards before we admit you. Or will that happen? Meanwhile, there are people out there in the streets. This is exactly what will be uploaded tomorrow. There are people out there in the street who are 30, 40, 50 and above who truly desires to be admitted in higher institutions, academic institutions. They have the age qualification. They are matured physically, isn't it? But because they don't have the academic qualifications, will the institution admit them?
No.
Listen, there are some grades you need to pass before God will admit you into the institution of marriage. You need to pass the spiritual maturity test, financial maturity test, emotional maturity test. There are a lot of ladies, any small thing, they are crying. Anything, they see cocoa, they are crying, and they want to get married. You need to pass the intellectual maturity test. You need to pass the physical maturity test. If you pass all these tests, if you are 20, God will admit you into the institution of marriage. But I've seen people who are 30, who are 40, they cannot even fend for themselves financially. But culture and society is saying, you are not married, go and marry. It's like taking that man in the streets who is 40 years, who age-wisely is qualified to be in the school, but does not have the academic qualification. So when society pushes such people into marriage, when they get there, they start struggling. Because marriage is not run by age, it's run by being qualified. So the right age for you to be in a marital relationship or to be married is that age in your life that you attain the requirement of God. So if you attain it at 17, you can be married at 17. Before you find your face, I did research about this. You can be married at 20, you can be married at 24. Don't let me tell you the age I got married. You can be married at 25. And you can be married at 40, 50. It is when God sees that this person has passed. But this is what God does. Please look up. When God sees you that you are diligent, you have given your life to Him early, you have discovered your purpose early, you are financially stable, you badged your degree, you have learned a skill that can give you a stable income. If you are 22, God will run after you to get married. Listen to me. Joseph and Mary. Joseph was, according to his Jewish histories, 18 years when he got married, when they had Jesus. Mary was 16 years. Why did God allow them to carry the only son of God if they are not matured for it? David was 17 years old when he killed Goliath. Saul had promised that anybody that kills Goliath, I'm going to give him my daughter. When David killed Goliath at the teenage years, probably 17 years, he had Saul's daughter as wife. These are great men in the Bible. Let me come to our contemporary time. Jonathan Edwards is one of the God's generals. He married at the age of 17. Kenneth Hagin, if you are a true Christian, you will know Kenneth Hagin, a great man of God. He is the one who practically anointed Baba Deboye before his ministry boomed. He married at the age of 19. John Dilek, a man of healing, married at the age of 23. Baba Deboye married at the age of 25. Rick Warren, the man that wrote Purpose Living Life, married at the age of 25. Late Dr. Miles Moron, married at the age of 25. Jerry Eze, the pastor, what God cannot do does not exist, married at the age of 24. Pastor Emmanuel Iren, married at the age of 24. And we have seen people who married at the age of 40, when they enter, they are still struggling. Because it is not age. It is at the age you have the qualification that you should be in marriage.
Let's put hands together for Jesus.
So, if you truly want to get married, face your life. Discover purpose early. I married before I was 25. As Africans, we believe, before they say, go and look at a lot of people that they don't know anything. They are aged. Because age is not tantamount to maturity and wisdom. But this is the problem I have with teenagers. You are 17 years, you are still being baby fed, you are still in secondary school, you don't have money, you don't have any skill, you don't know anything spiritually, and you are having a boyfriend. What are you doing in that relationship? Because the purpose of the relationship is to lead you into marriage in some few couple of years. So what are you doing there? You should be focused on how you will get the grace that will allow God to admit you into that institution. So it is at the age an individual attains those qualifications that he should be in marital relationship and eventually get married. The society might say is a small boy. See, this was why I gave us biblical examples and contemporary examples of people who married early and their life and ministry affected the world even more than a lot of people that married late. And let me tell us the truth, in these last days we need our young people to marry early. I'm advocating for that because it will reduce a lot of sexual temptations. A lot of people, they fail because they married late. I'm not saying people should just rush into marriage. I've clarified myself. But biblically and historically, if you have some of your grandparents and your mothers, you will notice they married very early. That's the way God ordained it. But because of a lot of things that need to be put in place. So that is what tells you the right age for you to be married.
Put your hands together for Jesus.